Yet another revelation of millions of dollars worth of spending ahead of the May 10th general election. Works Minister Desmond Bannister says there's really no way around soaring electricity costs, and cultural icon Cleophas Adderley died this week. You've got those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. Cultural icon Cleophas Adderley Jr., age 62, died on Wednesday after battling a lengthy illness. Mr. Adderley, an accomplished composer, was the founder and director of the Bahamas National Youth Choir. He was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Bahamian Icon Awards on June 17th for his contributions to nation building through youth development. In a statement issued Wednesday, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Michael Pintard expressed his condolences to Mr. Adderley's family. He noted that it was a pleasure to have worked with Mr. Adderley while employed as a consultant at the ministry years ago. Mr. Pintard described Mr. Adderley as an accomplished and charismatic scholar. Despite his critical role in an ongoing process to have delinquent parliamentarians and senators file their outstanding disclosures or face prosecution, Public Disclosure Commission Chairman Miles LaRota said Sunday that his appointment has expired, leaving aspects of the process up in the air. Monday was supposed to mark the turnover of Mr. LaRota's finalized list of delinquent officials to Attorney General Carl Bethel. However, with his surprising announcement, there is no clarification on how the process will continue in the coming days. Asked if the status of his operation prior to the expiration of his appointment, Mr. LaRota said he and members of his team convened their final meeting Thursday, June 29th, and concluded with several disclosures still outstanding and a report not finalized. In an interview with the Tribune on Thursday, Ms. LaRota said in his discussions with some persons who are required to make the disclosures, they expressed certain challenges which he suggested delayed the submission of documents. He also said on Thursday that there were some challenges with obtaining financial records from spouses, particularly in situations where they may have operated bank accounts prior to marriage. He also said there was some unwillingness and apprehension from these spouses to have their private information in the public domain. Speaking on the matter on Sunday, Mr. LaRota maintained that no resolution was achieved as of Friday, and due to the end of his appointment as chairman, he was unaware how those matters were concluded. Newly released central bank data has revealed that $234 million was added to the government's deficit during the general election quarter. The regulator's May Economic Development Report shows the former Christie administration actually contained the red ink during the first 3 months of 2017, even posting a small surplus for its budgetary operations. However, the Minnis administration's estimate of a $500 million deficit for the full 2016-2017 fiscal year suggests this achievement was squandered by excessive government spending and contracts in the run-up to the general election. Given that the central bank pegged the 9-month deficit at $265.9 million, the new administration's full-year estimates given by K.P. Turnquest, Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister in his budget booklets, suggest that the government spent $234 million more than it took in during the 3 months to end June 2017. Mr. Turnquest did not respond to the Tribune's calls and messages seeking comment up to Tuesday, but the figures provide an insight into the extent of the alleged hiring and contract signing frenzy that took place in the former Christie administration's final few months. Sarkis Ismailian is dead wrong calling for a moratorium on the sale of Bahamar, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram said Wednesday. During the Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau meeting, Mr. Ingram said the Minnis administration should do nothing that would disrupt Bahamar's ability to open as quickly as possible and begin employing thousands of Bahamians. His comment came nearly 2 weeks after Mr. Ismailian, Bahamar's original developer, whose family invested hundreds of millions of dollars in Bahamar, called for a moratorium on the mega resort sale to Chow Tai Fook Enterprises Limited. Mr. Ismailian also called for an investigation into concessions the Christie administration offered to Chinese investors for their efforts in remobilizing construction last year on the troubled resort. Mr. Ingram said, quote, "The completion of Bahamar and its operation is of critical and essential importance to the economy of the Bahamas and the people of the Bahamas. The government must do nothing whatsoever to stop it from being completed. It must do whatever it can to facilitate the completion of Bahamar because we need the jobs. We need to ensure that we are not downgraded by international credit rating agencies even further and that we get upgraded. So I'm not aware of what Sarkis said, but if he said that, he's dead wrong." Bahamas Power and Light's huge legacy debt will most likely be transferred to taxpayers, resulting in higher electricity costs. This according to Works Minister Desmond Bannister. Works Minister Desmond Bannister said while it is unfortunate that consumers have seen a significant increase in their Bahamas power and light bills because of faulty machinery, the government cannot continue to absorb the cash-strapped utility providers' expenses. Mr. Bannister told the Tribune on Thursday that BPL has a huge legacy debt, and unfortunately the cost will have to be passed on to the public directly or indirectly. He was responding to the Central Bank of the Bahamas' monthly report that revealed that Bahamas Power and Light's fuel charge increased by 8.3% to 13.7 cents per kilowatt hour on a monthly basis, and by 49.7% when compared to May 2016. In a statement, BPL explained that an increase in bills for the month of May was also caused by its reliance on engines at the Blue Hill Power Plant, which uses more expensive fuel than those at the Clifton Power Station. Mr. Bannister said he understands that times are hard, but whether Bahamians understand it or not, either you pay BPL directly or you pay through our taxes. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com. Like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network. Send us a tweet at Tribune242 or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.